So just a few natural inhales and exhales still here. Feel the seat, feel your root, and feel the tall posture up and out through the top of the head. Feel the shoulder blades just gently drift back towards the spine. And working with just a little bit of breath retention, let's take an inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath for 1, 2, and exhale 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath in for 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Again, inhale. Hold the breath in 1, 2, and exhale. And just take a few cleansing breaths, natural inhale and exhale. Hi, Hannah. So a little breath retention. We just did that on the top of the inhale. And we're going to take 3 cycles with the breath retention at the end of the exhale. So as you're ready, taking an inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath out for 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath out for 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath out 1, 2. Breathe naturally. Conscious inhale and exhale, cleansing breaths. So as we pay attention to the breath through the practice, let's notice the breath as 4 parts instead of just 2. So we won't hold the breath in or hold the breath out while we're practicing, but we're aware that at the top of the inhale, there's a natural pause. And then there's the exhale, and at the bottom of the exhale, there's just a natural pause. So the breath really starts to feel like that wave that comes in. There's a moment of sustain, and then it goes out. And you may not even notice the sustain so much, but just bringing a more awareness to the breath as this 4 parts instead of just in and out. But there's this little natural pause in the same way that there's a natural pause between one thought and another thought. There's a pause, a space between one sensation and another sensation. Okay. And then let's come back into child's pose as you sit back and bring your feet together, knees apart, forehead down. Okay. Into the child's pose. So here, find the breath as 4 parts. Breathing in. Just notice as it rises to the top, there may be this slight pause, and then the breath goes out, and there may be a slight pause. And then inhale, come back into tabletop, or come up into table. Cat-cow, inhale, open the chest, the gaze, and the hips. Exhaling to curl and look in, empty the air out. And ride the breath, cat-cow, opening and closing. Into the middle, ear and hip to the right, squeezing side body, and ear and hip to the left, squeezing. And back and forth, ear and hip. And ear and hip. Good. Make circles as that makes sense to you. Move around in all directions. So as we hold awareness of our technique, our alignment, what we know about the postures and how to work the poses, reverse the circles, we're going to really concentrate here on the breath, keeping awareness of every inhale and every exhale. And then you'll notice when in the practice, maybe you forget about the breath. You'll still be breathing, but it'll be less of a conscious breath, child's pose. So we're going to keep coming back to breathing in. I know I am breathing in. And breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Everything else you need for the rest of the day, you can pick up after the class. Keeping this focus on the body, on the breath. Letting go of expectations, letting go of judgments on the practice, on yourself, on me. Yeah, and let's come up to downward facing dog. As you lift up, pedal, bend one leg and straighten the other. Yeah. Let the neck hang. And so the nourishing aspect of the yoga practice to really cradle the self, give the nourishment by having this focus on the body, the breath, and the mind with equanimity. So without likes and dislikes, good and bad, just being present in the moment that we are in. Rest in that. Yeah, that's home. Yeah. Come to the standing forward fold. Bend your knees any amount. Grab opposite elbow. Hang over the leg. Shake your head no. Relax the jaw. Nod the head yes. Up and down. And then with your knees bent, drop your arms, roll up through the back. Head is the last thing to come up as you curl up through the spine. Reach up, interlace the hands over the head, turn the palms to the sky. Inhale. Squeeze your legs inward as you fold back down. Exhale and drop the head. Relax the neck. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, open the chest and the gaze. And exhaling, fold. Take your left leg back. Just on the knee, lean forward on the fingertips, open the chest and the gaze. Inhale. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward and bring the right knee down, other side. On the fingertips, just lean forward. Inhale, open the chest and the gaze. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose. Stretch to the crown of your head and all the way out the heels. And then lower yourself down, either one piece or knees first and then lower. Take a sphinx pose on your forearms. Pull back on the elbows to open the chest. Draw the navel in and up. Feel the breath. Bring your attention all the way to your feet. The stretch of your ankles. And all the way to the opening of the chest and the softness in the jaw. Windshield Wipers. Stack the hands underneath the forehead. Bend your legs. Let your feet rock from right to left. Again, ride the breath. 4 parts of the breath. The inhale, the space in between, the exhale, and the space in between. Come back up into plank or tabletop and downward facing dog. Pedaling, bend and straighten the legs. Feel the wide grounding, rooting through your hands, the spreading of your toes. Making this practice like a self-massage. Reaching the right leg to the sky on your inhale. Step that foot forward, exhale, low lunge. Again, drop the back knee, this time arms to the sky. Dragging your legs towards each other, or looking out or looking up towards the fingertips. Feel the breath lengthening and lightening the body upwards. Feel the softness in the shoulders. And then release the fingertips down and straighten the back leg. Okay, right arm up to the sky into your high lunge twist. Squeeze your legs in and open up. And bring the hand down and take it back, downward facing dog. Left leg into the air, inhale. Step it forward, exhale. Low lunge, drop the back knee, reaching up, dragging the legs towards each other as you look forward or look up. Feel both that rooting through the legs and the pelvis, and the lightness lengthening upward through the torso. Follow the breath. And release the hands down, straighten the back leg, left arm to the sky. Squeeze your legs in towards the midline and open the chest, looking out or up. Release the hand down, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Either one piece or knees down to lower. Cobra, take a low cobra. So keeping your elbows bent, drawing the chest through, opening the heart. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Root your fingers, take it back. Take one more nice deep inhale. And when you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana, open up the chest. And exhaling, fold over the legs. Squeeze your legs together as you stand up. Take your arms to the sky and bring the hands to the heart. Arms up to the sky. Reach your right knee up towards your chest, standing on just your left. Keep looking forward or turn your gaze up. We're going to take a big step back into the high lunge. So bend your standing leg. Reach back with the right leg until your foot comes down. Crescent lunge. Looking forward or up. Squeeze the legs to the midline. Find the 4 points of the breath, 4 parts of the breath. And release the hands down and downward facing dog. Exhale. In the down dog, lift the right leg into the air, open it and stack. So bend the top leg, heel to the hip. Soften the sides of the neck. Re-extend the leg and bring it down. Just switch left leg into the air, do the same, just that part. Stack the hips and bend the top leg. Draw the navel towards the spine and the tailbone towards the pelvic floor. Re-extend the leg, turn it back to parallel, and bring both feet downward facing dog. Take another inhale, and on the end of the exhale, step or hop forward, top of the mat. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana, open the chest and the gaze, squeeze the legs, and fold. Look up to stand up, squeeze your legs together, reach to the sky. And draw the hands to the heart. Reach your arms up. Keep them up. Lift the left knee towards the chest, flexing the foot. Just for a moment, you can play with turning the gaze up if you feel balanced. And then looking back forward as we step to crescent lunge, bend the standing leg, take a big step back, and then arms to the sky. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. And looking out or looking up. 4 parts to the breath. Release those hands down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take another inhale. And at the end of the exhale, step or hop forward, top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Open the chest and the gaze. And exhale, fold. Now squeeze your legs together as you stand up, arms to the sky, reach up. And bring the hands to the heart. Take the right foot into tree. So right foot below your knee, or lift the leg up higher. Good. And squeeze the legs together, and then arms to the sky. So as we hold the posture here, looking forward or looking up, again, come into the focus on the breath. And when we focus on the breath, we're quieter in the mind to be more focused then on the whole body, whole pose, whole experience, present moment. Draw the hands to the heart as you gaze back forward, right knee to the chest. Good. As you bring your fingertips to the floor, your right leg parallel to the floor. So fingertips to blocks or floor, right leg is straight back, parallel to the floor. If you need to bend the standing leg, that's fine. Gaze forward on the ground and open up the chest. So this is just like the Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, through the opening of the chest, reaching the heel back, flexing the toes down. Take another breath. And bend that standing leg. Take a big step back, low lunge. Drop the back knee. Doing the thigh stretch, turn out the front leg. Open the knee and the foot. Look over the left shoulder. Draw the navel to the spine. Stay with that. If you're open enough or you had an active enough morning here, draw the heel in towards the hip with your left hand. If you still have more room, you can come down to the right forearm. But if all of that is too much, keep the leg on the floor, left hand on the thigh, and navel to the spine. Okay, whatever position you have there, turn it back into parallel, downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a deep breath. Lengthen forward into plank pose and kickstand. Take the left foot behind the right foot. And then take your left arm over your head. Take a big stretch up and back. Kickstand. And bring it back into the plank. And switch. Take your right foot behind. And then reach your right arm up and over your head. Push the floor away. A little 5% bend in the left elbow. And come back through the middle. And downward facing dog. Take another inhale, and at the end of the next exhale, step or hop forward. And inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, open. Good. And exhale, drop your head. Squeeze your legs together to stand up. Reach your arms to the sky and draw the hands to the heart. Okay, so left leg into tree below your knee, or bring the foot up into the thigh. Tree pose. Pushing the leg and the foot into each other. Arms to the sky, look forward or look up. Come into the breath. With soft gaze. Soft gaze allows also we call internal gaze, feeling and breathing and experiencing this present moment and what you're doing. Feeling it from the inside. And draw the hands to the heart as you look forward. Draw the knee to the chest. Your hands are going to come to the floor. The left leg is going to be parallel to the floor. And you can bend your standing leg. Okay, so flex the toes straight down. Open your chest like you're doing Ardha Uttanasana. Hands on blocks or on a chair is very nice for this pose. Pushing the heel back. Stay another breath or two to get this length through the body. And as we take a big step back, low lunge, drop the left knee. So we take the thighs stretch, turn open the front foot and knee, look over the right shoulder. So I'm going to draw the shoulders on the back and navel to the spine. If you have more room, reach back with your right hand and catch the foot. Heel in, maybe left forearm to the floor. Yeah, so you know your variation, whichever one is appropriate for your quadricep stretch. Keep your heel close to your butt if you've got the bent leg. Stay for another 3 breaths. The evenness of your in to out breath. Unwind it, come back to the center, step it back into downward facing dog. And Vinyasa plank pose, inhale, lengthen through the crown, lower exhale, cobra or upward facing dog, inhale, good, exhale, downward facing dog, great. Another breath or 2. Good. At the end of the next exhale, step or hop forward, top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, and fold, exhale. Squeeze your legs together to stand up, arms to the sky, reach up, and bring the hands to the heart. Okay. Garudasana, eagle. So bend your legs. I'm going to take my arms out to the sides. Bend your legs. Right leg crosses on top of the left, and either wrap the foot around the shin or pin your foot to your shin. So shins are squeezing into each other, inner thighs are squeezing into each other. Because my right leg is on top, left elbow on top. Spin the hands together. Smile a little bit. Okay. Eyes, again, a soft gaze. It's a little harder to find a balance point with your gaze when your arms are in the way. So working on that. 4 parts to the breath. Inhale, release it, and bring the arms to the sky, feet together on the floor. Fold forward on the exhale, release all the way down. Come into half chair pose, sit back, and reach forward parallel to the ground with your body. Pick your toes up off the floor so you feel the 4 corners of the feet more. You can be hip width apart with your feet, and your knees should follow, but if you're together, feet and knees together. 1 more breath. Drop your shoulders out of your ears, but lengthen through your arms. And then fold and drop over the legs. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale, halfway up. Fold on the exhale, plank or chaturanga, stepping or hopping back. Cobra or upward facing dog, inhaling, full extension. When you're ready, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg into the air. Inhale, bring the knee to the belly. Exhale, holding it there, push the floor away. Inhale, up and back with the leg, tapping the right elbow, lean forward, exhale. Inhale, up and back, tapping the left elbow as you come forward. And inhale, up and back. Step all the way forward. And warrior 2, turn out and ground the back foot. And take your arms out to the sides. Rooting through your feet, Virabhadrasana 2, widening through the front leg. Same arm position, I'm just going to flip here. Same eagle arm position, left elbow on top. Spin the hands together. Drop your shoulders down your back. Reach your forearms away from your face, and then slightly lift your elbows. Shoulders down, forearms forward, elbows up. Some of us stay a few more breaths. Some of us add a back bend, lifting the forearms parallel to the ceiling. Lift your heart. Inhale back to the middle, open your arms, straighten the leg. Good. Turn both feet into parallel, hands on your hips, lift your chest and your gaze. Inhale, fold forward, exhale, release over your legs. So any amount on that forward fold, get the hinge at the hips. Relax your neck and jaw. Come back to the 4 parts of the breath, listening to the wave as the breath rides in and rides out. While still strong and the body engaged in the quadriceps, wide through the feet, weight forward, open chest, open heart. And bring the hands back onto the hips and look up and stand up. Take your arms out to the side, step to your top of the mat and bring the hands together at the heart. Okay, Garudasana Eagle on the other side. So this time, knees bent, arms extended, left leg on top. Stick it to the shin if it can't wrap. Right elbow on top. So opposites. Left leg on top, right elbow on top. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your shins. Drop your shoulders. And a little lift in the sides of the mouth. As we find this tricky balancing pose, bring a little lightness, a little celebration of being alive to the body and to the face. Good. Gently as you release it, feet down, hands reach up to the sky. Inhale, fold forward, exhale. And then Ardha Utkatasana, sit down into your chair, reach the arms forward. This time place the left hand on the thigh. We're going to twist right arm outside of the left leg. Stack the hands in the forearms and push to look for a rotation. Make sure that the right leg didn't lean forward. Your hips and knees are still even. Opening your chest. Evenness of breath. Reach forward. Switching left arm outside of the right leg. Stack the hands in the forearms and push. From the crown of the head to the sitting bones, long, open. Reach forward and forward fold. Relax over your legs. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, open the chest and the gaze. Exhale, fold, take it back, downward facing dog. Left leg into the air. Inhale, knee to the belly. Exhale, lean forward, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, lift it up and back. It goes to the left elbow this time. Lean forward, push the floor away. Inhale, up and back. It goes to the right elbow. And inhale, up and back. The footsteps forward, warrior 2. Ground the back foot and come up. You also get the wide position of Virabhadrasana 2. Allowing your sitting bones to just drop down. There's no tilt in the pelvis. And eagle arms, right elbow on top. Spin the hands together. Right arm on top. Drop the shoulders. Push your forearms away from your face and slightly lift your elbows. And while I work the shoulders, I feel the weight even in both of my feet. Come back to the 4 parts of the breath. Stay here at a back bend. Lift your heart. Lift your forearms parallel to the sky. Inhale, back to the center, open the arms, straighten the leg, flip your feet into parallel, hands interlaced behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, take the forward fold. Relax your neck. Open the chest by squeezing the shoulder blades on your back. So we look for strength in the body,
engagement in your legs, shifting slightly forward with the body weight, that squeezing of shoulder blades on the back. And then we look for space and softness. Checking in on the neck and the jaw and the eyes, that they're relaxed. Bring the hands to the low back. Bring your hands down to the floor. Okay, turn to face your front leg towards the top of your mat and take it back into plank pose. And then bring it down, cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale to open up the chest and the gaze. Great. When you're ready, downward facing dog, just moving there through your pace. Good. Another breath. Okay. Let's lift the right leg into the air. Right foot is going to step to the outside of the right foot. And then lower the back knee. So your hands are inside. Bring your left forearm to a block or to the floor. And then maybe also bring your right forearm down. Squeeze the right leg in to the side of the body. So variations here. One is that your arms are on some blocks to give you more height. Other variation is to straighten the back leg. Keep squeezing the right leg in to the side of the body. Okay. Last variation is to have your back foot actually on the floor. So your legs look like warrior one. Then I bind. So if I easily had my forearms on the floor, then I might look for a bind. Right arm goes inside under the right leg. The left hand goes behind the back for the bind. On this pose, I drop the head and look at my back foot. The version when your forearms are on the floor, keep your neck long. Clearly, this is a much deeper opening in your hip, so the hip has to be ready, as well, of course, as the shoulders. Take 1-2 more breaths. If you know arm balances out of this pose, you can take Ekapada Kundinasana too. Otherwise, we're just going to gently come out of wherever we are. And we're going to lift the right leg up into the air in down dog split. We're going to return to opening, stacking the hips, and bending the top leg, heel to the hip. This variation, same kickstand, but it could be wild thing, where the right foot comes behind, and we took the same thing. Here's kickstand again on the left leg, right arm over the head. A different variation is that both legs are bent, as if like you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, and then up and back with the right arm. So instead of a straight left leg, I bent my left leg. 2 different variations. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Take it. Yeah, it was a hard little sequence there. Left leg into the air. The foot steps to the outside of the left hand. And the right knee comes down. So you can take it as, if you remember what we just done on the other side. Otherwise, I'll talk through the variations again. So right forearm on a block or the floor, or both forearms down. Left leg hugs in. Please work here if you are tight in the hips or in the low back. This is key. Okay, this has to happen first. If you're comfortable there, try straightening the back leg. If you're comfortable there, try the bind, but first we root the back foot. And then left arm under. Around to the back. Right arm behind the back. Bind, drop your head. Any of these variations. Just letting us be an all-level class today. So I give you all the options and you can play and listen to where you're at. We unwind wherever we are. And if you had the arm balance, you tried it. The left leg up into the air as you're ready. Open and bend it, heel to the hip as just a variation to clear. come down to whenever you need to child's pose. Otherwise, try wild thing or kickstand. Left foot goes behind. Kickstand was right leg straight. Left arm over your head. Or both legs bent and parallel. And push up a little higher. And return, downward facing dog. Exhale. And we'll all come down to the knees and then come down to the forearms. Turn your palms up so that we have this little cooling off of the palms. Okay, of the wrists in the table. Round your back. Just a little breather, a little break. Okay, and then come back up onto the hands. All right, let's sit back to the heels with the toes curled under. And if that is too much on your toes, have a lift under your knees. Okay, so stretching the arches with your toes curled under. Yeah. So wherever, if you need a little knee height, take it. And once we're here, let's take the left arm straight up to the sky. And bend that arm and hold the elbow with your right hand. And just nudge the head back into the arm. Okay. If at any time your feet start to tell you that they're done, okay, you can release to a different position. Stay here or try the bind where the right arm goes behind the back and you find the hands behind the back or a strap. Yeah, or holding your clothes. Okay. So either variation, if the right shoulder is not interested in that today, you're just holding the elbow and pressing the head back into the arm, relaxing in the top of the shoulder. 4 parts to the breath. And so we're going to release the arms, roll the shoulders back a few times, and you're going to come to sit to the tops of the feet. Okay, and as you sit to the tops of the feet, if that's troublesome on your knees, put a blanket all the way up into the crease behind the knee. Okay, and this will be more possible. So now we're just sitting up to the tops of the feet, right arm to the sky. We're doing the other side. Bend that, grab that elbow with your left hand and press back. I'm going to try to keep my heels in towards each other as much as I can instead of letting them fall out. Okay, left arm maybe behind the back for the bind. This side is tighter for me. So I got to do more weird things to get it up there. Okay, and then once I'm there, try to squeeze the left shoulder blade onto the back and breathe into the back arm. And then settling into the posture. And then gently releasing the arms, roll the shoulders back a couple times. And as you come back to tabletop, stretching back one leg at a time to open the foot and open the knee. So once we're back into the tabletop, we just pump the legs one at a time to open up. Okay, downward facing dog. Continue to pedal and release any tension there in the legs. And then bringing your feet to your hands, standing forward fold. Hands onto the hips, look forward, squeeze your legs together and stand up. Okay, so we're going to do the hip stretch, leg in the 4. 2 blocks would actually be really great right now on either side of you for the second variation, which is toe stand, which we may or may not do depending on how we feel when we get there. So if you have a couple blocks, grab them, and they'll be on either side of you. If you don't, and you only have a chair, again, I'm a chair pusher, okay? You can have the chair. So what happens is the right leg goes in a 4, and we sit back, forearms on the shin, hands on the wall or a chair, hands to the blocks or to the floor, right? So we're just first getting into this outer hip stretch, flexing the right foot. I don't want to be too weight bearing on my hands. I'm just finding something to stabilize. Keep widening to the hips, and we'll come back to listening to the breath in the body. 4 parts to the breath. Now we're going to stay for just a few more moments here, or if the lower knee is healthy to try this, we're going to try toe stand. So I will put weight into my hands right now so that I can lower myself into a squat on the left leg. Please stay in the hip stretch where we just were. Okay, if this is too much. When my hands are on either side, I can sit upright and I can hang out here. Or I can take one hand to the heart, or I can take both hands to the heart. Good pose for smiling, because it starts to get a little silly as it's very wavery. Last 3-4 breaths. Good. Use the hands. Push yourself up to release out of the knee. Draw the navel to the heart, hands to the heart to stand up. Shake your legs out. So just like some of the other poses, take the first part, stay with it, or take it to the next level. Okay. Left leg into the 4 as you're ready. It comes into the 4 and you sit back into the hip stretch. The tighter this hip is, the higher up the body should be. And you'll just keep feeling that as a really nice stretch in the hip. Okay, anywhere, hands come to the blocks or lightly to the floor. Just utilizing it to take a little bit of the workout for the balance. Yeah, and keep flexing the foot. One knee, one leg may be different than the other for this next pose, next part of the pose. So if you need to skip it on this side, that's okay. And stay right here. Otherwise, put weight into the hands so you ease off the knee as you come into the squat. And then you have an opportunity to check it out as you sit up tall. Lightly hands to the blocks on either side of you, one hand maybe, and then switching and trying the other hand to the heart. Or both hands. Couple more breaths wherever you're at. Not so much about holding it for a really long time as it is just giving you an opportunity to find it. Use your hands and push yourself out of the pose. Draw the navel to the spine. Stand yourself up with ease, and then give your legs a good shake out. Yeah, a little shake, 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 side, side. Move any props off the mat. And let's bring the hands back to the heart, standing up nice and tall. Now squeeze your legs in towards each other. Sweep those arms up. Inhale. As you dive forwards, keep squeezing the legs together. Drop the head. Halfway up, open. Exhale, plank or chaturanga, lowering down, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Good. Take 2 more breaths right here. And either come to sit or do a little hop, cross the legs and sit. Yeah, good. And then lie down onto your back. And let's have the knees bent and the feet on the floor. We're going to take bridge pose. So as you're ready, lift your hips up. Walk your arms underneath you. Maybe interlace the hands or just reach in the direction of your heels. Squeeze your shoulder blades and puff the chest. So as we're in a back bend now, finding still the 4 parts to the breath. Use that focus on the breath to draw you inwards. Feel the big toe ball mounts pressing into the floor. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing onto the back. Release your arms out and rest on your back. Soles of the feet together and knees open, hands on the belly. If your knees don't like hanging in space, put blankets or blocks underneath the knees. Hands on the belly. Feel the breath move into the belly. 4 parts. Feel the rise, the pause, the fall, the pause. Okay, bring the legs back into the center. Draw the right leg up into the air so you can hold onto the hamstring, the calf, or the big toe, or use a strap around the foot or anything to work as a strap. Then extend your left leg down along the floor and flex the toes upward. So get this really long engagement through the lower leg, pressing the calf, turning the toes up, which rolls the inner thigh down to the floor. And then try to move your shoulder blades back down into the ground. So the lower leg is the anchor of the pose. Feel very strong in this lower leg, okay? Try not to change that. The right leg opens any amount to the right without it falling, right? So try not to change the left leg. Keep your left side of the body on the floor. It could be a very small movement out to the side. Inhaling to bring it back up to the center. Good. And then we're going to take it across in the twist. So scoot your hips to the right a little bit and hold on to the outside of the foot if you can. If you can't, grab for the outside of the thigh. Okay, and then drop the leg. This would be a nice time to put the block underneath the knee or underneath the foot. Okay, wherever you've got that leg across the body. So we're just taking a twist, yeah. Whether you have the foot or the knee, take your top hip and move it away from your face, which will deepen your rotation, give you more space and traction there. And if you're feeling good here and you want to add one more element, bend the lower leg, catch the foot with your right hand, push the foot into the hand to roll your right shoulder into the floor. Push your foot into your hand, roll the right shoulder into the floor. Otherwise, keep the lower leg extended, okay? Last 3 breaths. This one's a little bit like the game Twister. All right, unwind it, come all the way back to the middle with everything. And bring the left leg up. Hold the hamstring, the calf, or the big toe, or use a strap around the foot or your shirt, whatever you got. You know, the strap is easy to improvise. To take the right leg all the way down, press the calf, flex the toes straight upward,
And try to work the shoulders, the left shoulder back into the floor. Conscious breath. Again, notice in poses whether they're strength challenging or flexibility challenging or balance challenging. Where does your mind go? And we're looking to calm down that like, dislike, good, bad about our experience and just have that equanimous view. I am here, I'm breathing, I'm acknowledging what I'm taking in. Yeah, and let it grow, let it evolve. Left leg comes out to the side any amount. It can be very small again. You can support the leg with a block out to the side. Just don't let the right side leave the ground. Yeah, I like to check in. So I have this free right hand that checks in. What is my ribs doing? What is my hip doing? Are they down? Did they move? Now we take the twist. So really sit a little bit. Scoot your hips over to your left a little bit. Here's a good place for a block underneath the left knee. Right hand goes to the thigh or underneath around the calf or foot, holding the outside of the foot. My lower leg really still stretching into this twist. Take your top hip towards your lower foot. Reach your hip that way, towards the lower foot. You'll get much more stretch in the hip and some length for the low back. So whether your left leg is bent or straight, is okay. Either way is fine. If you want to add the last half, which was bending the lower leg, catch the foot with your left hand. Push your foot into the hand and roll that left shoulder further into the floor. It also makes it, feels like it makes more sense at that point to really turn my head also to the left. You don't have to, but just notice if it wants to go that way, go with it. Keep pushing the foot into the hand. And gently let all of that go and come back into the middle. And one more time, hips up into a little bridge pose. Walk the arms under. Puff the chest, Setu Bandhasan. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Just notice any difference in doing the pose this second time. Expand the chest. Feel the root of the feet. And then gently release yourself down. For Shavasana, if you would like to just lay flat, please do. If you need any support underneath your knees, take it, okay? Anything else you need, we just have a few more minutes, but if there's a pose that your body would like to go into, you always feel like we're running out of time. So many more things we can do. But if your body feels like it needs to move in a direction, take a moment to do that. That's the listening. That's what builds the home practice. If you want a little support underneath your head, you can take it, Shavasana. Roll the shoulders under and turn the palms up. And once you find that comfortable place, returning to listening to the breath. Listening to the breath allows you to listen to the present moment. Exactly where you are right now, from moment to moment, as it changes and shifts from moment to moment. Yeah. Acknowledging it with equanimity. Not a like, not a dislike, not a good, not a bad. Just being present with where you are. We'll rest for a couple minutes. Spiritual awakening is frequently described as a journey to the top of a mountain. We leave our attachments and our worldliness behind and slowly make our way to the top. At the peak, we have transcended all pain. The only problem with this metaphor is that we leave all the others behind. Our drunken brother, our schizophrenic sister, our tormented animals and friends. Their suffering continues, unrelieved by our personal escape. In the process of discovering bodhicitta, the awakened heart, the journey goes down, not up. It's as if the mountain pointed toward the center of the earth instead of reaching into the sky. Instead of transcending the suffering of all creatures, we move toward the turbulence and doubt. We jump into it. We slide into it. We tiptoe into it. We move toward it, however we can. We explore the reality and unpredictability of insecurity and pain. And we try not to push it away. If it takes years, if it takes lifetimes, we let it be as it is, at our own pace, without speed or aggression. We move down and down and down. With us move millions of others, our companions in awakening from fear. At the bottom, we discover water, the healing water of bodhicitta, the awakened heart. Right down there in the thick of things, we discover the love that will not die. So as you take a deeper inhale and exhale and prepare yourself for coming to seated, move your hands and feet and take your time to roll to the right or the left. And as we make our way to seated, we'll bring the hands to the heart to Anjali Mudra. And taking with us, was a passage from Pema Chodron, the journey goes down, not up. That it's not about leaving the pain or the fear. It's about moving into what is. That here we are. This is where we are. And we can move together through it, not necessarily away from it. Yeah. And in that, we find the awakened heart. We find that water, that healing water. We find the love of being present with what is in this moment. Yeah, bringing all of these friends and enemies, all the fears and the joys, we bring them to the table for tea. Bowing the chin to the chest, thank yourself for your practice. May all beings in all worlds find happiness and peace. Namaste.